Hey guys, so welcome to the next video in this series, and this video is all about how to put together your high ticket program fast. And this program that you'll be putting together, it'll be a program that you'll be able to sell from anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 per client. So this is what we call a high ticket program, and I'll show you how to do it fast. And the reason why I put this training together is because I've had a lot of different individuals, a lot of different clients ask me, like, what's the process? How do you put together a program where someone would happily pay you $2,000 to $10,000 just to consume the information, and they have no idea how to do it. So this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do this. So let's get started. So first we'll start with why. So why exactly do you need to put together your high ticket program? Well, the reason being is that to hit your income goals, because a lot of my clients, when they learn about the model and how I help my clients grow their businesses, and they see the type of income my other clients are making and myself, they're like, this is a pretty cool model to where you could generate anywhere from like $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 per client. It's like a really cool model. So when you have a high ticket program, you'll be able to hit your income goals faster. So if you have a goal of like maybe generating $100,000 for let's say for the year or something, if that's your goal, and you have a price tag of like $10,000 per client, well, all you really need are 10 clients to hit $100,000. So that's one of the reasons why we want to do it. The next reason is because when you have a high ticket program, your clients, they'll be able to pay you premium prices. So you'll get paid premium prices for it. And the third reason is that so that when it comes to shifting to group coaching, you can do so fast. So when you put together your high ticket program, again, it'll just be like kind of like an outline, which is similar to what I have on this screen here, which is like an outline. And I'm just like walking you through it. When you have that, just the outline of it, then you'll be, when it comes time to shift in from one-on-one, when you start getting a lot of one-on-one clients and you start realizing like, well, I'm running out of time and I need to scale, I need to jump into group coaching, then it's pretty easy for you to do that because you already have your high ticket program mapped out. Okay, so that was the why. Now the next thing is the what. So what exactly, how exactly do you do this? What do you do? Well, here's how you put your high ticket program together. The first thing you do, step number one, is to get Novamind or another alternative. So what I'm doing here with this, this is called Novamind, this program right here. And what I'll do right now, let me just pull up the website for you just to show you. So novamind.com, you go to that site and you get Novamind. It's a really great tool. This is how I outline, before I ever put any of my high ticket programs together, I use this tool to kind of just map it out, to just give me an overview of what the whole thing is going to look like before I go ahead and start shooting any videos or anything like that. So Novamind, the pricing is $6 per month. So you could get that, or if you don't want to get Novamind, you could get there's a ton of different maybe free ones out there that you could get, and it's called like a mind mapping software. So if you don't want to pay the $6 for it, you could just go to Google, just search and find one you could get for free. So, and the reason why we use Novamind is because it makes the content easy to organize. And the way we do this is, as you can see, I have all of these different topics, and it's like just bullet points. I just make little notes for myself so I could just walk through while I'm walking you through the training. So it just makes putting together your program easy to organize and to kind of see a bird's eye view and just to see where you're at in your process. And the third is it's easy for you to package when you transition to group coaching. So as you can see, this training right here, it's in this format, but if I wanted to transition to a group coaching, I could work with a client in this, like let's say I'm talking to a client on the phone, I could just have this up in front of me and I'm just like basically talking them through this, similar to how I'm talking to you. This is through video right now, but when I first started doing this, and what I recommend to a lot of my clients who it's their first time putting together their product, is just, hey, just mapping this out. And when you're talking to a client, just call them up on the phone and just have this in front of you and just basically walk them through the steps and just have them ask whatever question comes up for them as you're going through the material. So that's how we do it. So as you can see, I have the reasons as far as why to package it up, and then I give an example, which is kind of like the walkthrough of this. And the way I want you to treat this training right now is to treat it like an example as far as what I do when I want to put together if I wanted to start from scratch and just put together a high ticket program. although you didn't see me sitting back and putting together all these bullet points, but I just started off as far as that's specifically how I did it. I just started off with this big bubble here. I put content, and then I just started off with why, what, how, what if. So just when you do yours, just you'll go through this similar process, but let me just get done explain it for you right now, just so you get a clear picture. So after you get Nova Mind, the next step number 2, is to map out your prospect's current reality as far as the pain, frustrations, and challenges that they're facing. And the reason why we want to do this is because your ideal clients, they're only interested in solving their pains and frustrations. So a lot of coaches and consultants think that the ideal clients are the people, they're coming there specifically for them or for their to work specifically with them. Although that might be the case, but when we think about it on another level, what we realize is that our clients, they just care about getting the information, getting the advice that they need so that they could get their own issue solved, or they could get their own result for themselves. And the second reason why I want to map out the client's current reality is you want to have clients, if you want clients to willingly pay you anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 per client, if that's what you want, then you need to talk about the pains and frustrations, because that's what gets people's attentions. That's what gets them to say, okay, I want to learn more from you, or I want to work with you within your program. And the third reason is that human beings, we're motivated twice as much by pain than by pleasure. So when you map out the reason why we're starting off with, again, the current reality as far as the pains and frustration, is because that's where the most motivation will come from. Because as coaches and consultants, what we do is we want people to show up and give us the money, and not only just show up and give us money, but we want them to apply what we're teaching them. And the only way we could get them to apply what we're teaching them is to show them how what we're teaching them is going to help them solve their pains, their frustrations, the challenges. Once we connect the two, then they'll be like, whoa, this is pretty cool. I want to go through this because this is helping me solve a problem. So that's what we'd start with. And a perfect example of this is like the question, why are you here? Why are you going through my training right now? Why are you going through my material? And what most of my clients find is that the reason why they're going through my material, my training content, is because they have a challenge and frustration that they want to solve. Either they want to change their business model to make get more clients easier. Either they want to make more money. Either they want to get more consistent clients per month. Either they want to raise their income, so they want to get high-paying clients. Either they want to put together a high-ticket coaching program, or all of these different reasons. And that's ultimately why they're here. And if at any moment in time I stop talking about that and I start talking about other things, then they'll lose interest and go do something else. Go find what's already interesting to them and go find other programs that'll help them solve the big challenges and frustrations. So that's why we want to first map out our current client's reality. Now, after we do this, then we want to now map out their desired reality, the end result that they want. So we want to really focus on the specific, measurable, tangible result that you can help them achieve, a result that they will get while going through your program. And as you notice here with this one of the things I did, I said, here's a specific result. So after you've gone through this training, although this video right here is just for one specific section, it's only on putting together your high ticket program, a program that you could sell for anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 per client. It's only on that, but as you can see, I kind of mapped out the ideal reality. So after someone gets done, if they actually go through this training and they do the exercise, they will have a program that they could sell from anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 per client. So why do we want to map out the desired reality? Why exactly do we want to do this and really focus on the tangible, measurable results? Well, the reason is because our clients, what they're looking for is a transformation. They don't want information just for information. They want the information so that they could apply it to get to a better place in their life, a better place in their business, better results for themselves. And the next reason why we want to do this is because with our clients, they're wanting to go from where they are to a better reality. So maybe they're in debt, or maybe they're not getting any paying clients, or maybe they don't know how to get passive income through investing in real estate. So maybe they don't have any of these things, and that's what they want. And we want to map out, okay, when someone comes to us, like, what exactly are they going to get? What's that end result for them? And ultimately, they don't care about the journey. They're only concerned with the end result. meaning that they don't care. Most of the majority of the time, they don't really care what they have to do. Like, and you really shouldn't be talking about the doing of the stuff. What you always should keep your focus on is on what's the end result that someone is going to get when they go through your process. Not really on what does the process look like, but more of, well, after you do this, the end result will be you will have your first real estate investment property, or the end result will be you'll have a client who will pay you $100,000 for you to consult with them and for you to come work with them. So that's what I mean by end result. So that was step number 3. So we want to get clear on the end result here. Now, after we do step number 3, step number 4 is to name your coaching program. And most people ask me, well, how exactly do I name my coaching program? Like, how do you do it? And a shortcut, a little secret trick I like to teach is that you want to name your coaching program the end result that your prospect stands to gain. Just like with this, I could make this as far as, I could make this my coaching program, like how to put together your high ticket program fast, a program that you could sell for anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 per client. That is a good name of an ideal, of a coaching program, simply because I'm talking to the specific need of my prospect. It's like right there, and when they hear that, it's like it just becomes irresistible for them. So the reason why we want to do this is because you want, whenever you talk about your coaching program, for your prospect to feel like, man, this is like exactly what I'm looking for. This is exactly what I need. And again, just think about yourself right now. If you haven't put together a high ticket program and you're in the process of putting yours together, like when I say this name, like I'll teach you how to do this, for you it just becomes like irresistible because I'm talking directly to your need. And you want your coaching program to do that. So that way your program, it's a tangible result. So when you talk about it, your client, they could see like, whoa, that person has created this thing specifically for me. Like it's just the way they said it sounds like they put it together. They were thinking just of me when they put it together. Okay, so that's why we want to do this as far as name our coaching program. And again, if you don't know how to do it, just name it the end result that your prospect stands to gain. Now, after we do that, step number 5 now becomes to identify how long your coaching program will be. And with coaching programs, I like going with 6 weeks, 8 weeks, or 12 weeks, for the simple fact being that the reason why we want to do this is because that way it has a definite start and end date. So with most coaching programs, what most individuals do is they try to charge by the session, or they try to charge per month or whatever. And I found it's very hard to keep clients consistently, and it's very hard to get paid in full for your process, for your coaching, simply because it doesn't have an end date. It's like one of those, a dream. Like, with most dreams, it's like, well, I'll help you get rich. But like, well, can you help someone get rich? It's like, it's such a process. It's like, well, where's the start and end point? How do you gauge success? How do you measure success? How do you measure progress? And when you say, okay, I have a 6-week program or 8-week program, for your client, it's like, it's a definite, like, for them, it's like they could see a start and an end date, and they're like, I could get my result within 6 weeks, or I could have my result within 8 weeks or 12 weeks. For them, it kind of excites them, simply because they could see how the end, like what the end result is, and we could sell the end result. And again, when you do that, you could get paid in full, because if you tell a client, well, I have a 6-week program and the tuition is $5,000, or the tuition is $10,000, and by the end of at the end of those 6 weeks, you will have a high ticket program that you could sell from anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 per client. The client would be like, of course, like, you have a program, it's this long, and if I pay you $5,000 within 6 weeks, I could have this completed. For them, it's like a no-brainer, and they would be willing to pay you all of that money up front, because we're not charging, or we're not setting our prices by the hour or by the session or by the month or whatever. We're more focused on the end result. We're now talking about specific results. And when we do that, that gives our prospect a clear picture of how long it will take them to complete and get the results. So for myself, what I have is a 6-week online coaching program. And when I talk to my clients about it, they love it, because they could see how within 6 weeks they could go from whether they're just getting started or just having 1 or 2 clients to, within 6 weeks, having everything they will need to be able to scale up to 6 and 7 figures within their business. All of the automated systems, all of the the funnels, the techniques, and not just me showing them a high level what it is, but me actually breaking it down step by step for them in terms of, hey, do you want to put together a webinar? Here's specifically how you do it. Do you need a funnel? Here's specifically how to do it. Do you want to learn how to sell? Here's a script on how to sell. Similar to what I'm doing with this video. As you can see, I'm not giving you the whole, hey, here's some how to put together your coaching program fast and just giving you a few ideas, but I'm walking you through here's specifically step by step how we do it, the actual steps, and then we're actually in a second here going to go into the how to. As far as now that you've consumed this information, it's now let's apply it. Let's go ahead and build yours. So by the end of this, you have a completed program, right? So now we jump into step number 6, which is after we've identified how long the coaching program is going to be, the next thing we want to do is we want to use the why, what, how, what if format to organize our content. So as you can see here, that's kind of what I did here. So why, what, how, what if. I start off like when I first started off with the, the end result. And then I just put why, what, how, what if on there. And then I kind of filled these in as I moved forwards. So that's how you want to do your programs. And the reason why we do this is because that's how people learn. So what I found is that at any point in any place, when you're communicating with someone, they're always asking one of 4 questions like, why are you telling me this? Just like with this content, if I just start off by saying, hey, here's how to put together a high ticket program. I know a lot of people would be like, why do I need a high ticket program? I mean, why are you telling me this? So as you can see, I first started off with the why. Here's why you should put together a high ticket program. Now, after someone understands why they need to do it, now it's like, okay, good, that's okay, now I understand. Now the next thing becomes like, what exactly is this high ticket program thing that you're talking about? Like, how does it work? And these are the people who just they don't want you to like show them step by step yet. They just want to figure out, okay, the high level, like what exactly, how does it, just give me the steps. And it's more like you have a conversation. So as you could see right now, I'm just like walking you through kind of like a conversation as far as, hey, here's the steps and here's just why they're important. So I'm telling you what the steps are at a high level, but I haven't given you the step-by-step details as far as, okay, now that you've understand step 1, let's actually do it now, right? So we haven't got to that point. We're on the what. And that's how the what typically looks. Now, then we have the how. The how goes into now this, when we get to this point, now this will actually be me taking you through and saying, hey, okay, now you've consumed the content. Step 1, let's go ahead and do this. Now do it. Okay, good. Step 2, let's go ahead and do this. Here's what to do. Now go do it. And we'll go through it that way. And I found that that's where that's where most people who come to me and want to work with me, and that's what they really enjoy about my process, because again, I don't just keep them with the what or the high level. I cover every single piece of the puzzle as far as, okay, here's the how you do it. And then after we get done with the how, like the what if. So going back to why I organize content this way is because, again, that's how people learn. Like at any point in a conversation, you're always asking yourself those questions like, why is this important? Like, what exactly is he saying here? How does it work? How do I do it? And what if? Like, what's the big picture? And most coaches and consultants, and that's why I believe that my program gets people such amazing results. My 6-week program where I help coaches and consultants scale to 6 and 7 figures. That's why my program gets people a lot of results really, really fast. And other people's programs, they don't get results simply because my program talks to every person at every stage that they're at. And that's how you get your clients results. If you just focus around all the content you put together, you just have it in a why, what, how, what if the process, you will communicate with everyone. You won't be excluding people, because with most coaches and consultants, when they put their programs together, so they might have the whole program on, hey, you should put together a high ticket program. And then they'll give you like 100 different reasons as far as why you should put it together. And you're like, perfectly, you sold me, man. I gotta put together a program. But then they don't share with you, well, how do you do it? Or some people might just jump straight into well, here's how to do this. But then they never tell you why you need to do it. Or they never give you here's what. Here's the steps, and here's why those steps, we take those specific steps. So it's very hard for people to get results. But when we take this approach as far as doing it in the why, what, how, what if format, for us, our information is always going to connect. And we're always going to talk to all of our clients and always going to give them what they want at each specific step without them getting confused or without them saying, well, I bought this person's program and it taught me this, but it didn't give me the whole thing. Does that make sense? Okay, great. So that's step number 6 as far as how we organize content. Now step number 7 is you want to now go into answering the why, what, how, what if questions in bullet point format. So you want to, the way I typically start is with the how, the what if, and that's how I typically start it. So let me just give you a little explanation of this here. So with the way I recommend you start, when you, after you get this done, and I guess what I'll do here is just do a quick little exercise here for you. So we'll call this real estate, or let's see, get first 10K client in 6 weeks or less. So let's say that's my coaching program, right? So that's my coaching program here. I'll then start off with saying, okay, why, what, how, what if. Why, what, how, what if. And then I'll now go into, okay, now that I have this, let's see here, we'll go back to this one. When we first start off, it's like, okay, how, because the most important thing we do is showing someone how to actually do the thing, like what are the action steps. So if I'm saying, okay, within, the name of my coaching program is get your first 10K client within 6 weeks or less. The first thing is like, how exactly is someone going to do that? Like, what's the actual step-by-step that they would need to take to do this? And I might say, okay, what they would need to do is, the first thing is to pick a niche. Then after they've done that, the next thing they would need to do is to offer consultations. Then after that, the next thing they'll need to do is make the offer on the consultation. And then after that, they would need to set up a funnel. Let's try that again. And then after that, they would need to run for ads. So what I could now do, so now that I have these things set up, I know that, okay, if someone really wanted to do this and they were like, hey, just give me the action step, just give me the step-by-step, I would say, okay, here's specifically what you need to do, step 1, and just go follow these things. And that's typically where I start when I put together my coaching programs, as far as, well, how does the person do it? I never start with the why or the what or the what if. I just start with, like, how does the person do it? And similar to this coaching, this process I'm walking you through right now, the first place I started off is like in the how. I just went through and said, hey, here are all the steps you need to follow. If someone just came to me and just said, hey, Extus, I'm ready, just give me the condensed version. What do I do? How do I do it? Just show me how to do it so I could go do it. I would just say, hey, I started here. I gave them that first. But I also knew that if I just gave them that, they wouldn't really know. I could say, hey, go get Novamind or some other alternative. Now, when I tell that to a person, they won't know ultimately why they're, in a sense, getting it. They'll just be like random, like, why do I have to do this? Like, tell why. But so I realized, okay, so in the what, I need to tell them why they're doing this. And then the same thing is like, map out your client's current reality. And they're like, why is he doing, like, why do I have to do that? And that's when it goes back into the what. I'm just now taking, so as you can see what I did with the what, and let me go back here just to give you a better example. So what I did here, I just basically copied what I did in the how, and I put it in the what. I just copied the same thing, but the only thing I did different here is I added the why, like, why do they need to do that? And this is where I typically just give like 3 reasons. So I might say reason 1, reason, just copy this, reason 2, and reason 3. Okay, reason 3, and what I did, I just copied this here and just copied it into all of them. So now, as you can see, and that's really how I did this training I'm putting together for you. So if I go back to this, I did the same thing, get Novamind, and then why should you use Novamind? And I give you like a few reasons, 3 reasons why that you should use Novamind, and I kind of give you an example because I find examples, it kind of makes it more concrete for the person. And just do that. And after, let me see, where are we at right now? So we got this part. So that's why and so I said I'm start with the how, then the what. So now I kind of showed you how to do the what, as far as what I did here. So I just took the how action steps and I just put them in there, and now I'm just giving them, just helping you understand them better. So the what, then after the what, then I go into, let's see here, into the what if. And what the what if it typically is, it's basically like what's like if someone really does that, like if you, so no, I guess I'll just do it right now. So now imagine, this is where you kind of sell them the future. So let's see, imagine having a high ticket program that you're able to sell for 10K per client, and imagine getting 10 clients per month. What would that mean for you and your family? And this is where you, in a sense, sell them the dream. So what I would do, let's say I get to the end of the training, what I would then do is say, so now imagine, because the person hasn't taken the action yet, but what I'm saying is that now imagine you're able to put together this coaching program and you're able to complete it, get the whole thing completed, and you talk to someone and they're like, you tell them about the program and they're like, yes, what you shared with me is just so amazing. Let's get started today. But not only that, but you send them the PayPal invoice, and then they just click on the button and they hit pay now, and they pay your full tuition in full. And now you just have someone just paid you $10,000 for a program that you've just put together. But not only that, but you have an actual system to get your consistent flow of these individuals coming, applying to find out more about your 10K program. And imagine you getting in a week. What if in a week you're able to sign on 5 new clients per week? That's like $50,000 there. So as you can see, the what if is the dream. It's as far as, well, what's really possible if you're able to, when you implement this, and if you're really able to take it to the next level. Okay, so that's the what if is. So let's see here. So we got this. So you kind of get why I approach it this way. So I started with the what if, the dream, and then after I get done with that, then I go into the why. So I now fill in the why. So going back to this document here, so I've done the what. And let me just do this here so I can mark this off. So I walked you through the how, I walked you through the what, I walked you through the what if as far as selling the dream, and then I walked you through, now we're going through the why. So now the whole thing is like, get your first 10K client in 6 weeks or less. Then I would go into, why is this important? Like, why should someone care about this? And this is where we connected back to the biggest challenge and frustration of our prospect. Connect back to big challenges and frustrations of prospect, because that's what's going to keep them keep them interested in our program. Us saying, well, the reason why you want to focus on getting your first 10K client within 6 weeks or less is because you'll be able to make more money. So instead of having one client that's worth $500 to you, and you having to, if you want to get up to like $5,000, you gotta like get like 6, 7, 8 clients or something just to get up to like $5,000. You could just have one client, and that one client will be worth $10,000 to you, and you'll have done the same amount of work, maybe even less work, and you'll get a $10,000 client, and that client will be most likely a lot easier to work with because they've paid a premium price, and they're not expecting the world out of you. They pay the premium price because that's just who they are, and you've kind of talked to them and you've enjoyed working with them, and just imagine being able to do that over and over again. So as you can see, I'm basically connecting up the, hey, here's why this is important to what my prospect already wants. Okay, so that's the approach I take in putting together the content. So after we get done with this step here, step number 8 is, on the day of the coaching call, what you want to do is you just want to open up this NovaMind and walk the client through the material. So let's say with this training, let's say it's an 8-week training. So I said, okay, I'm going to make this my coaching program, but it's going to be 8 weeks. So I'm telling my clients, hey, within 8 weeks, you could have you could put together your own. I'm going to walk you through step by step how to put together your own high ticket program that you could sell from anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 per client, and we'll accomplish all of that within 8 weeks. So now that I have this kind of outlined, the way I would approach it now is to say, okay, if I sign on a client, so if I take on someone today, I would talk to them on the phone and I'd say, okay, perfect, great, you signed up, okay, so let's go ahead and schedule our first coaching call. So and then I would say, okay, let's find a time and day that would work best for us. So right now, today is Monday on my end here. I might say, okay, will Thursday work for you? Or I might say, would tomorrow, would Wednesday work for you? And what time would we figure out a time? And as soon as the time comes on that specific day, what I would do is I would say, okay, and on that first coaching call, I'd basically tell them how we'd approach it. I'd say, well, over the 8 weeks, here's what we're going to cover. And I would say week number 1, we're going to focus on just how to organize your content, what technology and that type of stuff to use. And then I might say week number 2, we're going to be focused on how to map out your current reality and pains and frustrations. And as the weeks come by, I just basically walk them through this training. So I might say, okay, week number 1, the client shows up for the call. This is our first coaching call. I would go straight into, okay, here's the first thing we need to do. And I would say, hey, we need to get NovaMind. And I would have the coaching call just be based around just NovaMind, how it works, maybe doing a little bit more, because what I did here was just give you a high level view of it. In the next video, I might say, okay, here's how NovaMind works in that first coaching call. And I might just give them a little bit more detail for that actual program. And I'd make the whole week just based around that. And that'd be 1 week. Then the second week, when we were on the call, I would just come open up this document and say, hey, here's how to, we're going to be focused on mapping out your current reality. And here's why this is important, and basically give them examples of why the whole thing is important and that type of stuff. And then basically help them in terms of actually doing it. Okay? So hopefully this is making a sense for you right now. So let me see. So on the day of the coaching call, open up the NovaMind and just walk your client through the material. Again, it's not complicated. You don't have to memorize anything because you'll have this in front of you. And the reason why you should open up the NovaMind and do this is because so that you can, in a sense, begin getting paid immediately. So what most coaches and consultants do, they're like, man, I'm working on my high ticket offer and I've been working on this thing for 8 weeks or for a month. And for me, it's like, why you worked on it, but you haven't got paid yet? Let's get you paid while you're working on it. While you're putting it together, let's get you paid. And what I have them do is say, instead of going out and mapping out the whole complete thing and having trying to get all these fancy videos and fancy fonts and fancy everything, I'm just like, hey, just do it this way, kind of similar to what I'm doing here. Just map the thing out here. Have it when you have the coaching call, when you enroll a client, go ahead and work with the client through this, just do it this way. So that way you could get paid the $5,000 or $10,000 for working with the client, and in a sense you're putting it together, but you're working with them and you're sharing it with them immediately versus taking 6 months or a month or 4 or 3 weeks to put together a coaching program, and it's you never got paid in the process. So my goal is to get you paid in while you're developing your program, right? Now the second reason why we want to walk through our client through the program through through the NovaMind is so that you could keep tweaking and optimizing your program to get your clients the best results in the shortest time frame possible, and so that when it comes time to shift into group coaching, you can be sure that you have a good program. So most coaches, consultants, they're all about just wanting to just get into and record video and just have all of these recorded videos just so they could get away from trading time for money, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what I always recommend is that in the beginning, if this is your first one putting together, don't go recording videos first, because all that'll happen is you'll record the video, and then what will happen is that you'll have a client go through it, and then the client will have all of these questions, or they might bring us something that you never thought about, and then you're gonna have to go reshoot the video. So what I always recommend is do it this way first, and as clients come, and that's how I do it for myself too. So as clients come, what I typically do is I walk them through the material, I see how they respond to it, and I might move stuff around. I might say, oh goodness, maybe I should put this step here first, or maybe I should move this one to here. and just kind of move stuff around just so I could get a better feel of what works and how best for my clients to apply it. And then after I've walked maybe 3 or 4 or 5 clients through this process, then I'm like, okay, good, I have something good. They've given me their feedback. Now let me just focus on recording this, similar to what I'm doing here. I've already walked a few other clients through this process on phone calls already. So now I'm at the point where, okay, let me turn this into a video now, because I've worked out all the kinks that have come with working with individuals one-on-one to help them implement this stuff, right? So we have that, and ultimately, again, with most coaches, consultants, they put together their programs, and their programs, clients don't, it's just not a good fit for the client. And the reason being is because they just don't, the program isn't optimized. The program is just something they just said, hey, I have an idea for a program. Here it is. Let me just map it out and let me record it. And it's very hard for people to get results through that because it hasn't been tested in the real world. Okay, so that's why you want to do these on the coaching calls. Okay, so ultimately what I just walked you through was the what, as far as the actual, just step by step, what the overview of how the thing is. Like, we haven't really done anything yet. This is just explanation. So now that we're done with the what, the next thing is the how. Now we're going to get into action. So you listen to me talk about why each part of the puzzle is important, why each of the 8 steps I walk you through is critical. Now let's actually go ahead and apply it. So what we want to do is we're now going to actually create your high ticket program. And again, this is going to be a program that you're going to be able to sell from anywhere to $2,000 to $10,000 per client, starting immediately. So here's how we do this. So step number 1 is to get Novamind. So what I'd then do now is I might say, okay, for these action steps, and again, this is like kind of like I'm teaching you what I do. So I'm doing it in real time, and at the same time I'm giving you like you're like leaning against my shoulder, just looking over my shoulder, seeing what I'm doing here. So when I get to this point, as far as I realize, okay, it's time for my clients to actually do the work. This is what I do is I go to Google Apps, I go to Google Docs. I like keeping all of my documents through Google Docs. Just it's easier for me to find. So I create a new document here. I go back to this, then I'd call this, let me see, I'd name this name, and I'd put this as the headline here. Make this bold, and go to step number 4, or font number 14. Do this, and then I just basically copy these action steps here. Step number 1, boom. Let's go to step number 2. Boom, step number 3. And the reason why I like using these Google Sheets as well too is because when my client, because I want my clients to give me feedback as far as, because I don't want them to just, I don't like telling clients, hey, go do this, and leave it up to them to kind of get the feedback to know whether it's good or not. What I have them do is I say, hey, do this, and then they could pretty easily just share this document with me. So if they were having any issues, I don't have to, in a sense, revisit what I've already taught them. I could always just say, hey, send me a document. So that way, when I have the document, I can see exactly where they go wrong and be able to correct them instantly. Okay, so these are my steps right here. So I just basically, so whenever it gets to the exercise, I would say, okay, now let's actually do this. So I'm going to send you, let me see, I click on share, we get this link here, copy this link, I go ahead and put it in here. Just so I have all of this at my disposal whenever I need it. It's pretty easy. I could find it. I could go to my Novamind, find all the files I need. So now let's get back on track here. And now is the time for you to actually do this exercise, for you to map out your high ticket program. So now that you've I give you the what and the action steps already. Now let's jump into let's actually do it. So step number 1, okay, first go ahead and get Novamind or another alternative. So right now I kind of walk you through Novamind. You know what it is. If you want to use it, go ahead, get that. Or if you don't want to use it, jump on Google, type in mind mapping software, and find a free version for yourself. Okay, do that. Now after you've done with that, step number 2 is to map out your ideal client's current pains, frustrations, and challenges. And here's how I did it within Novamind. So on Novamind here, as you can see, there's more in here. So I start off saying, okay, what's my current client's pains, frustrations, and challenges? And what for this specific training I'm putting together, it's like my client right now, they don't know how to put together a high ticket program that they could sell from anywhere from they just don't know how to put together a high ticket program. So that's their pain and frustration specifically for that training. So for your niche right now, you might be in the real estate and they don't know how to buy their first real estate investment property, or you might be helping management consultants get higher end clients and they don't know how to find individuals where they could get $100,000 contract. They don't know how to do this. So write whatever the current reality is, just go ahead and within Overmind, put them on there, jot them on there. Now, after we've done that, step number 3 is to map out their desired reality, the end result, the result that they will get while going through your program. So now you know kind of where they're at, like now it becomes a desired reality, like what exactly are they going to get while going through your program. And with this, it'll be my end reality, the end result for them is, or the desired reality is, hey, by the end of my training, you will have a high ticket program, a program that you could sell from anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 per client. That's the end result that you will have if you go through my training and apply what I shared with you here. So that's how I find the end result. So whenever you do yours, you want your results to be specific, measurable, tangible, external, and verifiable. Let me put these two in there. External and verifiable, because that's the type of results people want. Whatever you offer, you want to get to the point where you could talk about it this way. You want to get to the point where it's like, hey, here's the specific real world result that you will get when you go through my program. If you can get yours to the point where you could talk about it this way, then you most likely won't be able to sell it, or you won't be able to sell it for very much. Okay, so do that for yours right now. So now that we've done that, the next thing is to name your coaching program. Name it the end result. And this is where we actually start off. Now you should be at the point where you should be at right now is you should have your blank Novamind. And now you start off with, okay, what's the end result that someone sends again? And you should be on this step right here. So now you should be filling this out for yourself. And after you've done that, the next thing is to identify how long your program will be for, whether it's 6 weeks, 8 weeks, or 12 weeks. So here you could just come in here and put, let's say, 8 weeks for me for this specific thing. 8 weeks. Okay, boom. So we have this, so we know. After we've done that, use the why, what, how, what if format to organize your content. So I'll go here and let's go into, so for me, I've already done it. But for you, where you should be at right now is just go ahead to Novamind. If you use Novamind, hit the enter key. It's going to bring up a new topic. And then you'll just, I typically just call this content here. And then hit enter again, and then just type in why, what, how, what if. Okay, boom. So now that we have that, the next step becomes, okay, let me see. Answer why, what, how, what if questions in bullet point format. Start with how, what, why, what if, and why. It should be why. Okay, so you start off with the how. So whatever your result is, like how exactly are you gonna, like what's the action steps as far as from someone going to, they don't know how to put together for me, it's don't know how to put together a high ticket program. And then the result I could help them get is like, hey, I could help you put together a high ticket program you could sell for 2K to 10K. So yours could be, hey, they don't know how to invest in real estate property. They're interested, but they just don't know how to get started. And then your end result might be, well, I could help you buy your first duplex or your first whatever terms they use in real estate, but you could help them get an end result. Or maybe you help them get clients. You might say right now they don't know how to get those higher premium paying clients, and you have a process I could show them how to get their first 100K client. Okay, so go ahead and put that on there as far as how would that process, what are the action steps to get your process figured out? And again, you saw how I did it for mine as far as with the how. Going back here, these are my action steps. And again, yours doesn't have to be perfect. Just go ahead and write step number 1 and write what the step is, what it is. Step number 2, what it is. Step number 3. Don't overthink this. Just put what you what comes to mind naturally for you right now, because you know more about your topic than most other people know. If you're in real estate, you probably know more about it than me. Or if you help management consultants and different like real estate agents or brokers or whatever, you know more about the topic than me. So just put whatever steps that come to mind in terms of taking someone from where they are to where they want to be, and just map it out. Because a good part about that process is you'll be able to reorganize it. You might be able to say, okay, I'll move this step here. And it's similar to what I did with this training. When I first put this together, it was just like random steps. I was like, okay, let me just put this together this way. But as I kept doing the training, as I kept going through, I was like, oh, well, it makes sense to have this step before this step, or that step has to come before this step, or this step has to go here, and just reorganize it. So now that we have that, now that we know that, let's get back to it. So the next thing is we want to answer these things like so I showed you how to do the how, so the action steps. Now the what. So again let's go back to the how. So let's say you just did the how, you listed out your action steps. Now it becomes the what. And I showed you earlier how to do it. All you do is you just copy the action steps, so step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now paste it in the what. So it should be step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And boom, and then you just want to have the reasons why. And I typically like 2 to 3 reasons why someone should why it's important that someone actually take this step. Okay, so we have the why, then we have the what. Next is the what if. So now you go into just selling the dream. So let's say you're in real estate, you might say the what if. It might be like, so just imagine you're able to put together your or just imagine you're able to buy your first duplex, and being able to have that bring you passive income, whether it's like an extra $250 per month or an extra $500 per month. Now that's just your first one. Now what if from what you learned in here, you're able to buy 5 duplexes or 10, and imagine and kind of start doing the math for them, showing them what the future is like if they're able to actually go through and apply this and just keep doing this over and over again. Show them how well you could really hit 6 and 7 figures doing this, and all of this money is going to be coming in for you passively. Just what if, and paint that picture, that ideal what if for them, right? So that's what you'll do here for yours, and it'll just be bullet points. And then we want to go into the why. Now after you've done that, now it's like, okay, why exactly is going through your program here important? Why is it important to get your first client, your first 10K client in 6 weeks or less? Like, why is that? And you use that why as well, connected back to their big challenges and frustrations. So in real estate, an example might be, I don't have any, I'm interested in real estate, but I've never bought property and I just don't know where to start. So I might say, here's why you should focus on getting started in real estate, and why you should focus on buying your first duplex within this first or within the next 6 weeks or something. And the reason why is because real estate, as you know, it's one of the best investment opportunities available. More millionaires. Real estate has made more millionaires than most other basically opportunities out there for most people. But as you can see, what I'm doing here is I'm trying to figure out, okay, why should someone listen to this? And I'm just telling them on, hey, here's why you should listen to it, by connecting up their big challenges and frustrations to how real estate could help them overcome it, and how going through my 6-week program will help them get that result. So we got this. And now that we've understood this, now the next step is on the day of the coaching call, just go ahead and open up your NovaMind. So now that you have your process mapped out, similar to how I did it. So just imagine like I'm coaching you right now. I'm saying, okay, I'm having my first coaching call with you today. And I'm at the point where I'm back here, you're near your phone or computer waiting for my call. And in preparation, what I'm doing is I'm saying, okay, let me just open all of these up, because I know that's what I'm going to be walking you through. So today we're going to be focused on step number 4. So I'll have step number 4 in front of me, and I'll just go through and basically walk you through step number 4. And I call you up. Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, great to connect. Are you ready to get started with today's coaching session? Okay, perfect. Let's jump right in. And I just walk you through step number 4, as far as, hey, here's how to name your coaching program. Here's why it's important. And you get what I'm saying here. So we do this, and then as you keep giving me your feedback, I might say, okay, I just shared this topic with one of my clients here. It seems like, I should have probably shared this one first before, and I kind of make my tweaks here based on me having an actual coaching call with someone, and boom, that's really how you create your coaching program. So again, just go through this video. I shared with you a lot of ideas as far as how specifically to go from not having a coaching program to actually having one, to being ready for walking your first client through it. So you have everything you need right here. So you should have your coaching program already created. Again, if you don't yet and you're still not sure, rewind this video, go back and find the parts that that pertain to you and get this stuff completed. One of the things I don't want you to do is to don't overthink this. This shouldn't take you more than an hour. If it's taking you more than an hour, something is wrong. You want to get this done within an hour. And what you'll notice is that when you have it done, it's just like the mock-up. When you start working with clients, that's when you want to start now tweaking your content. Because I find it too often that most coaches, consultants, they get to a point where they spend way too much time on a program. And what I have them see is like, man, this program, it's great that you want to perfect it, but there's no perfection. Like, you're always going to improve it. It's always going to be a work in progress. And with all of my coaching programs, I keep them in a Nova Mind like this. And what I do is I'm always updating whenever I talk to clients, whenever clients give me feedback. Today, because I just go through and I just say, okay, I have to change this, or this is better, or I need to find a different way to say this, because whenever I say it this way, they don't get it. I need a different example to use here. So this should take you should have your complete program, something you could sell for $2K to $10K within an hour at most. If it takes you longer, then again, you're doing something wrong and you're procrastinating. Where we need to be right now is not like the fantasy isn't in like, yeah, I have this, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna get $10,000 for this thing. Like, it doesn't count. Where it counts is when a client says, hey, I'm ready to move forward, so let's go, here's the money, and you get paid the $10,000, and now you're in a sense coaching them and you saying, okay, here I have my content, let's go through, and based on that you'll give me feedback and I'll adjust from there. So that's what I'll leave you with. And again, I want you to do this right now. Again, don't watch this video and say I'll do this later. Go ahead and do this now. And the reason being is because, again, going back to the what if, like, what if you're able to put together your program that you're selling for maybe $5,000 or something, and you have this completed program, and you could help your client create that transformation, and they're like, you're helping them go from not having the result to having the result. And you're able to get a client to pay you $5,000 for that. But not only that, but they're happy after you get done working with them. They're like really happy because you really helped them. And you just got a client to pay you $5,000 for that. Like, how would that make you feel? But not only that, knowing that you could keep duplicating that process over and over again, and you're able to get more clients, get 2 clients to pay you $5,000. That's $10,000 right there. And then you keep scaling and you learn new marketing tactics, which I'll be sharing with you, and you're able to get a lot more. Whether you're able to get like maybe 10 clients per month to invest in your coaching program, that's like $50,000 per month right there. But not only that, but now after you've mastered that, after you've got this done, then you can now record these videos. You can make them into automated videos, automated trainings, to where when you now have those automated trainings, now you could, in a sense, give those trainings to clients, and now the clients are paying you $5,000, but they don't have to work with you one-on-one. You could get away from trading your time for money. When they pay you, now you send the video to them, and they're watching, they're consuming your video, your trainings through that video. And now you're taking on clients, you're generating like $50,000, $100,000. And you're not really having to invest your time. You don't have to invest your personal, well, I have a coaching call today, I have to spend all day doing coaching calls or whatever. If you've already graduated from that level, if you don't want to do the coaching calls anymore, now you could say, okay, when a client signs on, it's video time. And that's really how you're able to scale to 6 and 7 figures within your coaching and consulting business, by first starting off with having your mock-up of your program, just the bare bones of it. And then as you work with maybe 2 or 3 clients, you have them go through the program, you get some feedback, you work with them one-on-one. Now it's time to say, okay, now I have my proof of concept, I know how it works, now let me record it. And now you record it as you get clients coming in. As when you take on a client, you don't say, hey, let's book coaching calls. What you do is like say, hey, perfect, let me give you access to my coaching program. And now you could send them the videos. Does that make sense? Okay, perfect. So hopefully I sold you on the vision and the dream here. So again, what I just walked you through here is exactly what you need to do, and you could see how powerful it is for you right now. So just imagine you doing it for yourself and getting those results, and seeing people showing up and paying you. So go ahead and take action, and then if you have any questions, just go ahead and reach out, and then we'll, in a sense, take it from there. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. I'll be in touch here shortly.